You are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rudy McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. While interacting with participants of an interreligious dialogue group this week, Pope Francis highlighted the spiritual significance of the Holy City of Jerusalem. On Thursday, the Holy See hosted a meeting of the Joint Working Group for dialogue between the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue and the Palestinian Commission for Interreligious Dialogue. The Holy Father hailed the efforts of the working group as he met participants. The Pontiff stressed the 2019 appeal he made with the King of Morocco when he called for Jerusalem to be considered by everyone as the common patrimony of humanity, and especially of the followers of the three main monotheistic religions. The Pope also recalled how the working group was started by the late Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran, with Sheikh Mahmoud al-Habash, the religious affairs advisor to the President of the State of Palestine. In the German city of Hamburg, several people have been killed and many seriously injured in a mass shooting on Thursday night. The incident took place in a Jehovah's Witness prayer hall at 9 p.m. local time. According to German daily Bild, 7 people were reported dead and 8 others were injured. Police said that they are probing the motive behind the attack. According to eyewitnesses, there were 4 intermittent periods of shooting. Germany has suffered a spate of mass shootings in recent years. In February in 2020, a far-right leaning gunman shot dead 9 people, including people from Turkey, in the town of Hanau before he killed himself. In October of the previous year, a gun-wielding man gunned down 2 people outside a synagogue in the city of Halle on the Jewish feast of Yom Kippur. In the United States, the Diocese of Wilmington has slammed the bid of Delaware General Assembly to pass a law that mandates Catholic priests to break the confessional seal to report child abuse. The diocese condemned the proposed legislation, saying priests are bound by the sacrament of confession. Any priest who violates the confessional seal is automatically excommunicated. In a statement on Monday, the diocese said, "The sacrament of confession and its seal of confession is a fundamental aspect of the Church's sacramental theology and practice. It is non-negotiable." The diocesan statement said that mandating priests to break the confessional seal was a clear violation of the First Amendment for the government to interfere in this most sacred and ancient practice of the faith. In a similar move, the state of Vermont is also contemplating a bill that requires Catholic priests to break the confessional seal. Bishop Christopher Coyne of the Diocese of Burlington said that the bill crossed a constitutional protective element of the Catholic faith and the right to worship. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Central Africa, Islamist militants killed at least 35 people in the eastern part of the country. The attack took place in the village of Mukonde, in an area where Islamist violence is rife. It was carried out in retaliation for a military crackdown on militants in the area. Many of the victims suffered knife wounds, and the exact death toll is yet to be ascertained. There are reports, however, that militants belonging to the Allied Democratic Forces carried out the attacks. It is a violent outfit that is based in neighbouring Uganda but maintains ties with the so-called Islamic State. Attacks by the ADF militants are rampant in the eastern part of the country, leading to thousands of innocent people being slaughtered and millions being forced to flee to safer places. Last week, the US government placed a reward of up to $5 million for any information on the ADF leader. Ahead of the coronation of King Charles III of the United Kingdom, Cardinal Vincent Nichols of Westminster, who is the head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of England and Wales, gave an address to the monarch. He assured King Charles of the prayers and best wishes of the Catholic community in both England and Wales. He prayed to the Lord to bless the new king and his queen consort and preserve them in good health. He praised the king's efforts to foster the well-being of the entire human family and his commitment to religious faith and stiff opposition to religious persecution around the world. Cardinal Nichols assured King Charles that the Catholic community is supportive of the ruler's concerns. The Cardinal said, "We strive to offer to our society your kingdom, an education to young people that is rooted in faith and its consequent commitment to human dignity." In the United States, students of Marymount University in Northern Virginia have alleged that their concerns were not considered by authorities when they axed many majors at the school. They range from religious studies to mathematics. Students are enraged by the elimination of disciplines and allege that the action questions the university's foundation as a Catholic institution that focuses on the liberal arts. There are fears that the fallout from the curriculum change will drive away potential students. Students are also alleging that the school is not transparent when it comes to explaining where the money from the axed programmes will go. However, the university has said that the elimination of the majors will not affect its mission as a Catholic liberal arts school. An outfit that operates pregnancy resource centres in the United States has won a major legal victory. A federal appeals court has reiterated New York-based Evergreen Association's right to hire only people who are pro-life supporters. This provides much-needed respite from non-discrimination requirements of state law. Evergreen and its founder and president, Christopher Slattery, have operated expectant mother care and EMC frontline pregnancy centres in New York since 1985. The 2019 BOSS bill, passed by the New York legislature, became a thorny issue for Evergreen as it prohibited employers from selection based on reproductive health decisions. In January of the following year, Evergreen filed a lawsuit against New York's BOSS bill. Evergreen's attorney argued that the law would force the outfit to hire people whose personal lives do not agree with Evergreen's policies that are rooted in Catholicism. In response to the allegation of a Polish television channel that Pope St. John Paul II covered up cases of clerical sexual abuse when he was Archbishop of Krakow, the Administrative Council of the Vatican's John Paul II Foundation has come out with a response. In a statement, the foundation strongly opposed the allegations cast on the late pontiff. They said that in accordance with what was then mentioned in the canon law, Cardinal Karol Wojtyła took punitive action in cases of abuse of minors by clergymen. On more than one occasion, they preceded the actions of the police. Monsignor Paweł Potashnik, chairman of the Administrative Council of the John Paul II Foundation, said that Pope St. John Paul believed that every wrongful act must be judged and the perpetrator should be brought to justice. He said the allegations are unfounded and are aimed at destroying the good name of the Polish Pope, undermining his authority and limiting the impact of his teaching. In the American state of Wyoming, an anti-abortion bill passed in both the Senate and the House has been sent to the governor's desk. After a previous trigger law banning abortion was challenged in court, lawmakers came up with House Bill 152, also known as the Life is a Human Right Act. It says that abortion is not healthcare, but the intentional termination of the life of an unborn child. If the governor signs it into law, the law will prohibit abortions throughout pregnancy, except in cases of rape, incest, fetal anomaly, or if the health of the mother is in serious peril. Those who perform illegal abortions will be penalised with a fine of $20,000 and the revoking of their medical licence. On the 8th of February, the House passed the bill by 46-16, and on the 1st of March, it was passed by the State Senate by 25-5. In Latin America, there were violent attacks on Catholic churches and establishments by radical feminists on the 8th of March, which is observed all over the world as International Women's Day. In the Mexican capital, feminist activists attacked the Metropolitan Cathedral in Plaza de la Constitución. Police had to resort to tear gas to disperse the protesters. In the city of Puebla, radical feminists tried to destroy the statues of angels near the cathedral. In Bolivia's Santa Cruz, protesters vandalized the doors and columns of the minor basilica of San Lorenzo with paint. In Argentina, feminists tried to tear down the barricades erected near the sanctuary of Our Lady of the Miracles shrine in Salta. They also assaulted the policewoman who stood guard. Across Latin America, such violent incidents and profanation of sanctuaries are frequently reported on International Women's Day. From March the 14th, St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican will host an hour-long Eucharistic adoration on its parvis once a month. It will take place on the second Tuesday of each month. The first Eucharistic adoration on the portico of the Basilica will be led by Cardinal Mauro Gambetti, the Archpriest of St. Peter's. The prayer will be offered for the Holy Father Pope Francis, who is celebrating the 10th anniversary of his pontificate. From Monday through to Saturday, the Blessed Sacrament is exposed in the chapel of the Most Blessed Sacrament in the Basilica from 9 a.m. to 4:45 local time. Pope Francis, who is completing 10 years on the throne of St. Peter on March the 13th, has so far made 40 international trips, clocking some 255,000 miles, which is equivalent to the distance to the moon. During his pontificate, he has visited 10 African countries, 20 in Europe and 12 in North and South America. He has continued to travel despite health and mobility issues. His 41st visit will be to Hungary and will take place from April the 28th to April the 30th. He is also slated to attend World Youth Day this year in the Portuguese capital of Lisbon in August. Later this year, the Holy Father is also expected to visit the landlocked Asian country of Mongolia. A prominent Hong Kong Catholic and trade union activist has been arrested after she visited her husband, who is in jail. Elizabeth Tang was arrested by police under the draconian national security law after she left the jail where her husband and former Legislative Council member Lee Chuk-yan is incarcerated. Tang was active in the Sheikh Lay parish and was the executive secretary of the Hong Kong Confederation of Trade Unions until 2011. In 2021, she shifted base to the United Kingdom after she was attacked by a Beijing supporting newspaper. She was accused of receiving funds from foreign entities as a member of a rights advocacy group. Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee had recently pledged to go after anyone who worked against the so-called interests of the city. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again next time for more, and do remember in the meantime you can always visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.